to overcome this current challenge, that's this leadership challenge. Then you ask us, oh, no, all we just need to do is to just keep tweeting, just keep bombing online and do all of those things. That's what, I mean, that definitely will not achieve anything than probably just feeding our own ego. And then you might have people who say, oh, okay, you know what, we don't want to work with some people because these people are not, they are part of the old system, blah, blah. Yeah, that is a moral point, but in politics, unfortunately, morality is subjective. A good example is Donald Trump. And I always use the Donald Trump and the reaction and the response to sometimes I will ask, Nigerians have moral justification to things can be very, very funny. All right. So you have a Nigerian who is very, very happy that there's a Donald Trump in power. But that same Nigeria would deliberately shy his face away from the fact that when you even subject Donald Trump to moral clarity, Donald Trump will fail. Because you and I, we know his history. So, but the truth of the matter is that we will decide to actually turn our eyes against it because we know that at least, even though this guy may not be perfect moral-wise, but when it comes to governance, there's a level of expectation that you place on him. So the same applies down home if you want to localize it. Yes, we have people in the position that are probably, yes, when it comes to moral dexterity, they are very low. But then you also have to ask yourself, what exactly is this guy bringing to the table? Okay, there's something we call the scattergun approach. You can either decide to use a scattergun approach, waste your time and energy, or you laser focus on your number one problem, or let me say your most important problem, solve it, and then move to the next one. I believe in the latter. Okay, but when you want to fight all the enemies of Nigeria at the same time, you will never even fight any battle. Yeah. So for those of us that probably you are still a bit one-legged into, I mean, for some of us on this place, you know me. So I'm not just talking as maybe somebody that did not go for PO 2023. I'm not just quoting what I did on the ground with my support group. That's what it was for Peter Obi. So I mean, I wouldn't want to really go to that. I mean, some of us already know. The truth of the matter is that we all have one country called Nigeria. PO is not Nigeria. It's also part of Nigeria. Atiku is not Nigeria. It's also part of Nigeria. I'm not Nigeria. It is not Nigeria. We are all part of Nigeria. So if we are saying that Nigeria is not working right now, or we feel the current leadership is not working right now, it simply means that we are not. And like I said yesterday, strong opposition is the bedrock of democracy. Strong opposition party now is the bedrock of democracy. That is not stupid. That is not stupid in ensuring that all governors now are in APC. It's not stupid. So, because some of us here, you do not understand the formula for rigging. So, some of us were always very emotional about this thing. We are not analytical. Yes, he's the president. Yes, he can do and undo, but there's still the rule of engagement inside rigging itself. Rigging is not just done anyhow kind of. Maybe the anyhow kind of that I can recall aside from 2007 election, which was the first time I voted in Nigeria, and the reverse election, 2023. Yeah, I think the reverse election is the closest to the 2007 election in terms of anyhow kind of thing. Yeah. Now, I'll be specific. Reverse. I didn't say the entire 2023 election. That reverse state election, presidential election, is the closest to an anyhow kind of rigging, which I'm pretty sure that no politician, including Bat, would want to take that route. So even when you want to rig, you still have the rules of engagement. There's still a pattern. There's still a system behind rigging that many of us do not understand. All right. So when you see Bat influencing and mounting pressure on these governors to defect, he knows that all he needs is these governors to be on his party, on his side. Leave the rest. Because what happens eventually is that when the machinery for rigging is deployed all through the country, right, there will be what we call the moral justification for the outcome. So now, when 2027 comes now, and then they say, River State, Bat won, the psychology that has already gone ahead That's why I told somebody yesterday, Bat is doing everything right.
Yeah, to say Bat has captured the place anyway, it is expected that he will win.
Exactly. That's a psychology. He's doing everything right politically. Of course, he's doing everything wrong when it comes to the real leadership or with the real governor. But he's doing everything right politically in a third world nation. He's doing it right. All right, because psychologically now, he's doing the work 2 years ahead. You can see the bromance between him and Alex Oti. I know some of us may not want to hear that. So if election comes today and they get 40% of the Abia state result, people will feel, okay, it's not really bad now because the psychology has already gone ahead. So it gives that moral justification. It keeps his face in the international community. And then at the end of the day, we'll feel like, how did the guy manage to do it? So when young minds, and I'm speaking to some of us that are probably young in this game, and I'm not an old person, so let me clarify that, all right? But the truth of the matter is that it's not a function of age; it's also a function of how much involved you've been in the whole political space in Nigeria. I think, like I said, I've been voting since 2007. I've been actively involved because I come from a politically inclined family. Okay, so when it comes to voting election, it gave my head back. Now, but that's not the point. The point here is this: for some of us that probably are new to this thing, there's no. I mean, we all learn, every day. Nigeria is not UK. Nigeria is not a first world nation. Nigeria is not even North Africa yet. So right now, what's our current reality? Our current reality is that we have elites, political elites, who are grabbing for power. That's the reality. It's as low as that. So if we want to, as young minds, which I know that some of us we are really saying, you cannot height without climbing the ladder. That's the reality. You cannot walk without crawling. I mean, there's a sequence to it. So how do we have this new Nigeria that many of our bright minds on this space and even outside the country or within the country can lead? It's simple. One, APC must go. Simple. You cannot have APC in the current system that we have right now, and we're talking about a new Nigeria. You cannot. It cannot happen. The longer APC that perpetuates himself in power, the more difficult it becomes. And we need to also remind ourselves that life is a moving machine. It's not stopping. Even though it looks like I say, okay, so I'm sitting right now speaking to some of us, I mean to us on this place. In reality, we are moving. All right. Now, 2019, I canvassed and voted for Atiku and I told a lot of my friends here in Southwest, leading up to that election. I said, some of my friends asked me, why am I, rooting for? I said, because I love you. Why am I rooting for this people and PDP? I said, well, number one, I can't vote for APC. I can't vote for AG because like I said, I came from the home where we are politically inclined. Anything that has to be AG, AC, and that, like, you can't vote for. So that's so I said, aside from that, the second reason is this: Buhari is not performing. And I said, yeah, but Buhari is not, of course, let the Fulani just complete their 8 years. I can't forget that response. And I told my friend, I said, okay, yes, I understand. I understand the sentiment. Okay, so let the Fulani complete it and then we get it back to the start in 2023. And I told him, I said, what if by 2023, people see finds their way one way or the other? And means that he said, no, it doesn't matter. Now, out of everyone work on this space back to 2019, and then we now go back into the future, and you see how decisions today can affect not just the next election, but even the two election cycles, 3 election cycles from now. Now look at if all Nigeria, I mean, one way or the other, advance their way to defeat Buhari 2019, what would you have had to do? Let's look at it. We would have had, yes, the Fulani man would have come into power, no doubt. Now, yes, Fulani man would have probably spent another 8 years plus the Buhari 4 years, yes, no doubt. So let's look at the alternative. Okay, let's look at that and then look at the alternative. The reality. Anyway. Now, so we'll have had a 12 years Fulani in power, which I know definitely a lot of us will not want to hear. But the other angle to it is that, one, A PO would have actually become, would have been currently VP, I mean, would have been so the fact is, two PO would have had a very strong shot at power, so thereby eliminating all the things that the whole curb, the whole agitation and what have you would have probably even died a natural death. Okay, and there would have been peace in the southeast and probably virtually everywhere in the country. That would have completely derailed the possibility of that president. So that's very, because it simply means that you are using one game of chess, you are using one move, right, to destroy so many other things that probably are interconnected. So you will have used one decision. So if I had, you would have even used that same decision to actually eliminate the possibility of all of this ADC, whatever we're not talking about, regarding this party. Will have used this one move. Right. Now, what we have, what we have currently is the fact that we could not, for sentimental reasons in 2019, we could not make that decision. Okay, many people said because let the Fulani complete so that it can come back to the south, which is the same thing is happening in 2027. It's going to happen in 2027 if care is not taken. All right. And people would forget that 2027 will not be the last election cycle in Nigeria. All right. So many of us will not make a decision as to, so if I make this move in 2027, the consequence of that move in 2021. So now, for some of us, you might not even have it. Maybe you might have not even imagined it. Imagine in Nigeria where, so because we don't want the South for whatever reason, I'm not advocating anybody. Let these people do their thing and then have their own.
Sorry, Mr. Ewan. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Ewan?
Yes.
Hold on,
Can you
please.
hear me?
So, please hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping that the conversation will be more of like very flowy and conversation. I get that, or on Jamoron, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Try round this particular thing up so that I can bring in it now and then we'll go back and forth. So let's try and keep the responses short, hopefully, because anyway, you've answered some of the questions I had. Just round up and then we'll round.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? A call keeps coming in. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So by and large, right? What I just like to say to everybody on this place, ADC is not just about 2027. Let's see ADC in 2027. Let's see if I that vehicle that many of us here in 2040 already, we are probably in the academic office, that will be the alternative vehicle that many ideas will ride on. Okay, that also the new Nigeria. Without a political party, without a strong political alternative, there is all ideas will be ideas. All right. So we need to build, all right, before we can be talking about any of that.
Yeah, thank you. We'll definitely come back, circle back to other questions. So it's just earlier I was asking like how do you feel about this whole thing? Now that the house, the final, chess piece is now is um, everyone is aligned at least into the party now, and what are your expectations, especially for APC folks who are probably unhappy? So, I can't hear you. Ah, can you quickly drop and come back? All right, guys. So again, thank you for joining this space. We'll definitely. Okay, I need to address something. So, so it's ADC Party Youth Forum, and I've been cautioned by the community people to be careful. If I was hosting my own space as my own page, then I can be very, very liberal. Because Engineer OJ, I've been seeing your tweets of how Obi is this, Atiku is this, they are looters. I don't know why you think I'm going to bring you up on ADC Party Forum community to come and be chatting your this thing here. But anyway, guys, so please let me just so AI and Valerie, I crave your indulgence. I need to
Okay.
be very, very um Yeah, I can hear you. I need to monitor those that are coming to space. Yes, I mean it's very easy. Call it you can call it everything that is fine. We are doing our own coalition. We are trying to speak and galvanize people and mobilize people. Instead of being here, I suggest you go and open your own space and start galvanizing people. You know, we say the election will reach now, you will not have vote. Don't. Or you want to speak, you want to come and market your place. Go and do your own hard work. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, so that's I mean, please feel free if you want to come to my own space to help me. Definitely. Like, because I've been actually cautioned. Um, I don't want- All right. So it will please go on. How do you
Okay, thank you. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Uh, yeah, amount is difficult. We need to join those that negotiation. This is not the last person. More people are still coming that I can always yeah, more people are still coming. More and you show you wow, wow, wow. But going forward, doing the doing the is not a guarantee for you to win election, just like Mr. AY says this is not politicians. People win election for politicians. So Obi joining the party is not great. In fact, I was discussing with somebody when he said let us look for what we call massive big fund. You'll be surprised you will see 50,000 in votes in 2027. Because now the governors have more money. In all fairness to Tinubu, governors have more money and 60 to 70% of the is it 60 to 70% or 80% of the governors are first timers. So and a lot of them are running to Tinubu now. For what? For protection. Either either or this or that. So the politicians don't need to they don't guarantee the election. So like what? I mean, winning the election lies among the citizens, me and you. And number one, first way to win the election is to build the party. If you don't build the party, you can't have structure. Number two, get the new voters, old voters. Some is it somebody said earlier that they are already sensitizing people to register to get their PVC. And I'm I was in the street. I saw grown up adults, 40, 60, telling me they don't have voter card. Now, INEC registration, the second phase of voter registration is starting January 5, 2026. How are we galvanizing? How are we bringing this people? How are we going out to tell people, please come and register? Because if you don't vote, all this out is bad. You are bad. Economy is bad. Because you are not part of the people that decide who rules this country. I mean, who governs this country. So if we don't galvanize, get the real vote, come and vote and say out of power. And how you be a member of the party you already stated as a member. Because let me just say everything for Congress and all that. Don't be surprised. You tend to be a youth workers. What the party is after now, I'm saying it again, is massive improvement for the party because it is members of the party that can secure structures for the party. It is members of the party that can help the party galvanize people to vote for the party and stand with the party. See, let me start at the beginning. Politicians, I let all the I think you don't need it. But just it 2027, I mean 2007 was the last time I made the election. Then, 2007, one party, I was at the already was election. But since then, I let everybody see blame of their head and now this is how the INEC politicians go do whatever you can get from the street or from the police guide that anyhow. The moment you resolve, get to the state police center or to the national police center in your post and let's send you to court. Now, when you go to court, can you produce all the agencies, all the police, you can't. And who are the people taking the election? Me and security. Just like what happened. Security, it was the security report of police that made focus on the couple of weeks. So we just need to understand this game. Come to the party, join the galvanize for the party, and get people to join the party so that they can monitor proceedings right from the polling booth, the rack center, to the local government center, into the state police center, into the national police center. See, this is not the first time I'm saying this. In 2019, we had police, AD and APC. People are saying, Olufala has vice presidential candidate, and Ogunlayo has become presidential, and then the vice presidential candidate of Ogunlayo became the vice presidential candidate of Olufala. Shinkafi. What's that? What the end of the day? Oh, put up for politicians that came together, all these people that are they did not even support the coalition, and the people were left out. And that was how Obasanjo he might have won the election, but the landslide was for everybody to think of. So the truth of the matter is, politicians will just come together. We should also come together so that we can help taking out, like I said, register, bring people in, come and register for the party. And now the party have said they are going to start what they call it, Congress from the polling booth. So from the polling booth, you say you be Jagaban, you are a stakeholder. So you can mount your polling booth so that you will not lose your polling booth. Because I think everybody should have to show their polling booth result now. So that you will not lose your polling booth. So from that polling booth to the what collation center and to and as it goes to state, senatorial and all that to the national. So now the only thing we need to do, please let us come together. Don't wait for the party. When I say don't wait for the parties, don't wait for that. That the parties are no. Start going out now. Start reaching out to people. ADC is the real deal. ADC is the real deal. ADC is can stop this economic hardship, can stop this insecurity. The party is here to serve to help them to save Nigeria. Let us start galvanizing. Let's bring people into the party. When we have people into the party, then we and us, as we are doing that, we also be getting people to register for PVC. Because Because I did look at the last election, 260 something polling booth did not have voters. And but the return result, how? Because people didn't man those polling booths. How did they return results? We are not there. So we need to be there this time around. And the only way we can be there is for us to come together, galvanize ourselves as a party and as a people. If, for example, in my own street now, like I can count that, oh, in my own particular street now, we have like 40 to 60 people in my street as ADC member who won't come reason. See, you read where you are popular. And there's one thing happened in 2027 election. I keep saying consensus rigging. You can only also do consensus rigging when you are popular. So, but if you are not popular, you cannot go and rig election. And you cannot also do consensus rigging if you are not popular. So let us come together so that we can withstand this pressure of APC. Because let me be honest with you, all these governors you are seeing, they are desperate and they will do anything in their power to remain in power and in politics. Now, all the entire South is gone to APC. And some of these governors are getting people day and night. In fact, I keep using Cross River as an example. Maybe anybody from Cross River can say this. Priso 2, everybody is hailing Priso 2, Priso 2, Priso 2, Priso 2. That's we are starting afresh and we need to start fast because we don't have the party is having two conventions this year. Two conventions. One, to ratify leaders of the party. The second convention is the national convention that will bring in the presidential candidate. And all these things must be done between January and latest July. So we don't have the time. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Thank you, Itono. Before we move on to other speakers, I know Valerie would still also like to speak. Yeah, she's only been in calls, but she hasn't spoken. I'm just quickly going to go back to Mr. AY. Mr. AY, you touched on this earlier, but I would just like sort of, for it to be a bit more elaborated. And it is the for and this is again, like I said, my focus is to speak to those who are still in the ADC, let them to understand that it is what is needed right now, right? And so my question is, for those people who are still very, concerned, who are not really sure of what their own political choice will be going forward, because now, the ADC is now more or less a full house. What do you have to say to these guys, considering, you know, the consequences of Tinubu coming back in second term? Because, you try to draw some sort of parallels or as to what some of the decisions of 2019, why it led us to having a Tinubu as president, which also may eventually lead us to Tinubu, installing who he wants. So what are the implications for Nigerians who want, you know, a new Nigeria, but are not really comfortable with the ADC? Because let's be honest, some are still not. So, what would you be telling them, Mr. Iwan?
Okay, thank you very much. There's an adage that says a bird with an hand is worth more than a million in the bush, right? You see, am I audible?
Yes, brother.
Okay. I'm a realist, and I'll try as much as possible to communicate this to as many people who are more idealistic in nature. See, you cannot. Okay, so let me use this. Maybe this will resonate better. For some of us who are Christians, you have the genealogy of Jesus Christ. If you go to the Bible and you study the genealogy of Jesus Christ, you'll be so surprised that Jesus Christ is, is forebearers. We're not perfect beings. So, in fact, I think there are two allots in his genealogy. Okay, now I start to be corrected. Now, but the point there is this: if Jesus Christ could come from that genealogy, what tells you that the new Nigeria that we are all desiring cannot come out even from ADC. Because you see, you cannot have something from nothing. That's the truth. You don't have something from nothing until you are God. Right? So it simply means that whatever it is that we love today came from a past that was not perfect. A good example is also US, the same democracy that some of us always like to reference. Okay, I was having a conversation with a guy, on timeline a couple of weeks ago, talking about the role Abraham Lincoln played during the slavery, and how Abraham Lincoln was not a saint. In fact, if you don't do those sides of Abraham, you will see a lot of people morally that he did. But it's still the same journal of other future better, politicians. And life is continuum. Okay, we cannot say, oh, because this is not perfect, all right, or because APC is bad, or because our INEC or system is not perfect, and therefore we now want to throw in the towel and say, you know what, every other party, they are all dead. I mean, it's just as good as saying we've given up. And we cannot give up because obviously life continues. So my encouragement to everybody in that category is this new Nigeria is a process. It's not going to be an instantaneous thing. The new Nigeria can be battered in 2031. The new Nigeria can even, fortunately, be battered in 2027. It can be battered in 2034, or probably the next election cycle. But the point is how we position ourselves today to give it a chance of coming into reality. That was why I was making reference to 2019 earlier. If Nigerians had taken the sacrifice and done away with sentimental, emotional, tribal politics in 2019, and did not consider the fact that Atiku was also a Fulani man who wanted to take over from a Fulani man, but look at it from the bigger picture, we would have been talking about a new Nigeria coming into reality today. Because we know that definitely there is a Peter Obi on that ticket that many of us resonate with his values, resonate with, even if it's not a perfect being or a perfect politician, we know that if this guy is given the opportunity to even just become a president, at least, even if it's for us to economic wise, for us to save better, for us to manage our resources, we can boast and say, this guy will be for us. If Peter Obi cannot become president by wish, it is the deliberate, conscious actions and the inactions of Nigerians today that will determine it. And because we live in a very complex society where you can be popular in your region, okay, and yet still be rejected nationally. A good example is Obafemi Awolowo. Till tomorrow is the messiah of the Southwest people, okay. But then they never help the country because Nigeria is a one force. It's not kind of bond. It's very, very complex. And we have to live with that complexity. So, as a roundup, I'd just like to encourage people in this category, please look at the bigger picture. Let us take solace from the fact that if we have, let's say, we have 10 strong politicians in ADC today, let's take solace from the fact that if we have like 3 or 4 people that we can trust. That doesn't mean that they are perfect. That doesn't mean they are the best in a personal way, but we can trust. So if we have 4 out of 10 big politicians in the party, and lucky we can make do with that. These 4 faith, proper calculation can help them to emerge at that top eventually. It may not even be immediately, as we so desire. But we know that okay, you know what? I think with this formula, the probability that this thing will happen is there. It's just a matter of time. It's just being patient. So you know what? Evil is calculative. Evil is calculative. Evil does not just happen by chance. Goodness as well has to be calculative. That was calculative in 2015. All right. That was calculative even after he left being governor. So if somebody can be as calculative as that, or had eventually just to do evil, just to satisfy his own desire, how much more good people, how much more we brilliant movement of this place. So we can as well be calculative. Not looking at only the today. Oh, if my candidate is not giving me, you know what, I'm pulling out. Oh, you know what, I mean, a reactionary thinking we're not going to be having maybe a Shetima and a Wiki, or a Nur Ribadu and that one that is always smiling or laughing like I'm trying to say the Senate president, but Akpabio as the VP. Just imagine that Nigeria. Just imagine that Nigeria in the next 12 years. Now, after they are now
I
done with their
mean, these are
career,
these are these are literally the crop of people that would eventually come out from that party.
I mean, it's visible to the blind, it's audible to the deaf. It's not, this one is not, you don't need to be a prophet to know. It's not the same way you could predict that Bat will become president in 29 since 2015. You could predict the same way you could predict what will happen in 2031 and 2035 using the lineage of APC. It's easy to predict. So just imagine that Nigeria. So you know how irritated you are right now. Just imagine how irritated you are right now. Now imagine it, how unimaginably irritated you will be by the fact that we is PP in Nigeria or PP to one northern character, right? Now imagine what will not happen by the time they've perpetuated power again and then they're handing over to one Opus in 20, maybe 2040, now becoming president of Nigeria. Just imagine it. Just imagine it. And the alternative that we now have right now is ADC. Even though we know that ABC is not perfect, we've acknowledged that. The kind of people that are also associated with ADC are people that probably on a good thing, who they will have broken things from their head. But look at it on the other side. You can see some people inside. Okay, I'm saying, okay, Peter Obi is not a bad guy. Okay, what's it called? This guy is not a bad guy. Oh, Bonaji is not too bad. Okay, I can manage this guy. I can. By the time you look at all of that from that perspective, then I think that new Nigeria can still be forged one way or the other, even if the hopes might look dim. Thank you, Ayedemai.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Iwer. I appreciate. And the interesting thing about this conversation is it will not end today. From now till the night of the election, we will still be trying to convince Nigerians why they need to come out to send these guys packing. It's a duty that we must take up uh, unapologetic, if I can say that. But anyway, let's bring in Valerie and then Valerie, please go on. Valerie, I have to say
Yes.
that whilst the other speakers on that space yesterday were still trying to be very cautious, they don't want to, start asking you this burning question that everybody had in mind anyway. Valerie, you didn't care. You just went straight for the jugular. Why?
Sorry, I'm outside. So I kind of missed that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, can you repeat?
That's fine. Do
Yeah,
you want to come back? Yeah?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Valerie. Yeah, so Valerie was not patient at all. She went there. Like, okay, so this is, are you, what's going on? Yeah, anyway, let's move on. Let's bring in uh, Iroma. How are you? Iroma. All right. How are you? You have your hands raised. You see now. They say, always have your hands raised so I know that you're ready to go answer yourself. Let's move on to OZ, how you doing?
Aha, Deji. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, I think yesterday. Let me start from here. Yesterday, I was on your space when I first heard that Peter Abi will be coming on space yesterday, and I was kind of really happy, because there is a lot of burning issues that needed answers, and I was really happy that at least he was able to put a clarity to what was going on the timeline, how different camps has been sorry for my use of word, moving mad, you know. And thank God that Peter has actually affirmed that he's let's work together. Irrespective of because you can feel contrast with and just you just need to work. I think yesterday I was even surprised on that place where people were asking about we were asking about how the governor what are you going to do about it? Are we really serious asking something about governance at this time? So I think the question of governance will come, but not now. I think it should be about how are we going to match APC, you know, how are we going to match and match it, how are we going to make sure that that APC that was sorry that not asking about governance. I think it was even left for me, right? I would have even said then we should even talk about governance policy for this election because last election we did all it take, did everything, but again the man that we were going up against, the president of Tinubu, we saw how he was. No plan was how to start to grab it around the road. And we saw him do it. So I don't think those are necessary for now. We just need to, of course, come together. Let's go into the APC. Let's try and make this to work. Let's put our business aside and come together and make sure and make it work. And thank God that Peter Obi was able to decide everything. He said his legacy, and at least we all should go into the Thank you, Deji. And Deji, kudos to you because you have done a good job. I saw how you were trying to be neutral, you were very fair, you really fair, you just you to thank you and kudos to you and everybody that were doing the same thing. Kudos. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Zed. Um, I hear that neutrality is also a position. Is that stop sitting on the fence. The fence also means that there is a seat. If you are sitting to the right, to the left, the fence also has a very good motion. But yeah, I wasn't sitting on the fence anyway. I was basically speaking for EDC. So I'm happy that everyone is now alive. So that's fine for me. Now let the politics, those who think I think yes, convince the members because it's members that will vote in the primaries, right? So convince members that this is what we do. And for those who strongly believe PO needs to be that please also go across but just like we always consultation. So go around, lobby, try to speak to people, convince them you know, to also support you. And also Amechi as well, because it would be very, 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 very it would not be nice to also downplay his own. He was also literally the second in APC's primary in that last. So he's not a small. He also knows his onions as a politician. So you can't underestimate that too. So everyone should just speak and try to talk to each other. And when the primaries come, let the best man win. Just do your own bit. Anyway, let's move on to let's have Yusuf. Yusuf. Thank you, Jose.
Yeah, good morning, DG. I mean, good afternoon, everybody. Yes,
Yusuf, you sound like you just woke
I'm actually sick. I'm contemplating driving myself to the hospital. But
up. Really?
for the process, thank you for the love of the country. I had to just join today. And I remember that I spoke on your space yesterday before, we had this space with Peter Obi. And I would say I'm impressed. I think the number of people that joined that space shows me that Peter Obi is that organic support is there. It's still there. You cannot take that away, right? Because that this was the number of people I saw. Wow, it's impressive. Having said that, I think the only thing I told you yesterday has not changed. I believe the articulate and the obedient should work together. And I think is it Mr. AI, is it AY that said something like, um, if in my opinion, if the ADC we don't have people in this. across the 740 government. I think we have over 1,770. Is it 170,000 polling units, right? If we don't have people that have those folks with them, I don't think we are ready because even the coalition is not going to be easy for them. This is the incumbent that I've seen since the beginning of our democracy that wants to cling to power by all means. They don't have that Jonathan mindset to respect democracy, or to call the runner up or to call the winner before even INEC declares the winner of the election, right? I don't think these people are so desperate and they are changing the laws. Imagine them changing a law that was harmonized by 80 members among our government, 80, 40 senators, 40 House of members came together to harmonize the law, harmonize an act and pass it into law. And some people just changed it like that. And they will still come and gaslight us that we should go and bring the copies of the harmonized copy and the gazetted copy for us to compare. And Dr. Aminu did that on your space. I remember him reading line by line, section by section. This my submission is making me feel well. I'm not going to the hospital again. So these are people that will do this. And imagine them now coming to now still continue to do this for another 8 years or another 16 years. Because whether you like it or not, if Tinubu wins in 2027, the Lagos template will start. Yes, he's going to single-handedly pick somebody and impose on the party in 2031. Uh-huh. So, like what I think Mr. Ewa said, I think the APC is beyond 2027, in my opinion. And I will say this, like I told you, I'm sick and around with this. When they started this ADC coalition, the people came to this place that they are waiting for this ADC to show them their candidates. They want to start doing the posters. They are people that are graphic artists, people that are into content creating. They are just waiting so they can start, you know, galvanizing and choking up the space, at least the media space with graphic content, videos, push this candidate. And there are people waiting for this party to run because whether we like it or not, it's not the presidency alone that's our problem. It's the green chambers, the red chambers, the state house of assembly. There are people that want to use the ADC to contest. There are people that want to use the ADC. And even Peter Obi yesterday, he put PDP and Labour Party in the same bracket when they asked him a question. He said these issues that are going on in the PDP and the Labour Party is being instigated by the governor, by the present administration. He has said that. Peter Obi said that on the space yesterday. So apart from the ADC, what option do we have? I think we have the ANC. But unfortunately, the ANC, they don't have that capacity to galvanize votes across the 36 states. I still don't, I'm not taking for granted that they have 12,000 votes. They have 40,000 votes. That is why I'm still a friend to Engineer OJ, Deji up till now. Yes, he came to my DM that yesterday you did not give him the mic. Yeah, yeah, whatever, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I said, yes, but we still need them. So, Engineer OJ, don't be offended that you don't get the mic yesterday. I want you to work with me at the coalition. I am not. Bahrain votes in Kaba. I don't. Let me speak Hausa. Bahrain 14,000 votes in Kaba. I want every vote. Engineer OJ, I want that your 14,000 votes. I want 1 million votes from the NNPP. Although I'm hearing that after Gida Gida Concourse will be going to the APC. But that will not really matter. That will not really matter if Peter Obi and Atiku want to work together. Yes, that will not matter. So please, moving forward, I think people need to come and up with party. I'm still contemplating contesting for House of Reps under the ADC and contemplating on that. I want to see the momentum. And by the grace of God, we'll get it right this time. Thank you, DJ. I eat my mic. Thank you very much.
I mean, what would the national House of Representatives be like with Sweden? It's gonna be firing, firing, and hopefully, when you still get there, you will not be shy to tell us how much they actually. Because I don't know, it's always been very, very opaque. Maybe one day Yusuf can, my people, okay, oh, also we usually collect so amount and that. At least you for once, know what the true state of things are. But yeah, I totally agree with you. It's a complete, complete, complete down ballot revolution. Presidency, senators, House of Rep, assemblies, governorship, like the positions are so much. That's why um we will not do like Labour Party. We will not allow people who are not really, really strong in their conviction in what they need to do in the vision of that new Nigeria to take this position. That's why it's very important to get in now. So that when these primaries start coming up, you will be able to challenge all these people so that you really, really, really believe that you can make a change. I think this is this, the other Chief B was telling me that he also wants to run. Uh, Chief B, please go on.
Good morning. Yeah, so I think that there's been a positive development, or what I call a milestone within the ADC, just based off of Peter Obi's, you know, interview yesterday. Clearly, there's a difference in tone. There's more positivity. It sounded more protective of the court. I know just, in fact, it was even saying what people saying he's been
Yeah,
happy
I found that very interesting.
yeah,
I've literally been here.
yeah, it's been there. So I think that it's somewhere along the line, but I think that has been, and I actually believe that there are so many things that are very but it's a good development, and of course, it is my party. We have never had it in that. So he's made this in now. We have to figure out how to get whatever it is. Me, I don't just talk. I act. Then I'll move my people as well. My small people, not a lot, but at least I have people that I can tell to do things and they'll do it. So that being said, um, and I like what Yusuf said about the down ballot, which is where I'm looking. Because honestly, when I heard people say we are building party, we are building party in Nigeria under Tinubu and the way the institutions have been compromised. Honestly, if you don't have power, it's difficult to implement it. Let's be honest. If you are not in control of the institutions under Tinubu will frustrate you. Okay, and that's why I believe that. So, we are also going to have a major milestone once we know the head of it, and that's what I'm saying. Peter Obi has decided. I don't know what he knows. These guys know more, obviously, because yesterday I was surprised and I, just even laughed at myself because I was pleasantly surprised. He was more positive than I imagined about it. So, but that's a good part because I knew that based off of what happened, if Peter Obi is going to eventually be the candidate of APC, it will be a perfect combo. To have a platform like that with experienced politicians in their strongholds across the country that can fight and make sure that what happens at the polling unit makes it through to the situation. Because that's all we need. Somebody was talking about how do we, about the fact that the elections are going to be rigged at the collation centers. Yes, I completely agree.
And Tinubu is not going to sign up to anything that will not give him that opportunity. We need to be sincere with ourselves. He will never agree because he knows that his policies, even if they are going to work later, everything is just gabaru. If the policies are not working, is very weak in terms of the rule of law. There's a lot of impunity going on. It's actually really difficult to find something positive about this government, except if we are just deceiving ourselves or the people who are in politics, just the political side of facts. There's nothing they have touched. Even the tax that they said they made is now we are now finding out that it was forgery. There's just everywhere you look, problem. The security we can't get the truth. Today, you try to do SPF there's no way you look at it. So Tinubu himself, he was saying they are the people around him. He knows that they can't win a popularity contest in this
Yeah.
country.
So, speaking of that, so like I just want you to speak, if you don't mind, around let's say before all this the house was what Tinubu's people or what sort of calculations were already looking at and their chances and compared to now that the coalition is somewhat what are the chances of this guy? Because I
So,
believe he's a
so
goner.
yeah, clearly, this development, I mean, Peter Obi coming out clearly to say, look, there's no confusion about me being part of ADC. So if you're thinking I'm not part of it, forget about it. So yesterday was just like the final nail in the coffin. Okay, so they probably know these guys have their information. They have their information. Let's not deceive ourselves. They have even who wants he doesn't want to lose 2027. So it's part of his own work. Their informant on this place. You know. So he probably knows, and but I think that he's preparing for the north versus south fight. I might be wrong, but I think that this is what they are preparing for. And that's why I believe that by the time he captures all the southern governors, and then if ABC comes with, and of course, I'm not saying this in a negative way, because since yesterday, I'm now a combat, I'm part of it. So if ADC comes with a, a northern candidate, this is my own theory. They believe that, okay, look, we're going to use the southern consensus, we're going to use some anti-Fulani sentiment, and then we're going to use the governors, and of course the APC members to raise the stake in the south. Okay, so he believes that he will win the south overwhelmingly, and then in the north he will go and of course, so if that succeeds, they are able to ensure that former guy, former APC chairman, that's also from there, does not create too much damage.
And DJ, huh?
MDG, yes. Yeah, so because that's another problem we need to solve. If power consumers, they are never on the same side. So power consumers, they have to find a way to reconcile and that of continue. So he has Kano, and then North Central would be divided. North Central always goes south somehow. So this is their calculation, and he really wants to see his chance with the INEC, of course, and the governors being in charge of politics. So Tinubu just wants to count the votes 2027. He's not really interested in all this voting, it's not very important. He wants to count and he has to count the votes correctly. You understand? So he's preparing all of it. But to answer your question directly, definitely there will be some uncertainty because Tinubu never imagined that he would lose Lagos in 2020. It was a surprise. So that little window of uncertainty is there about how Nigerians are going to react. And then the northerners, how are they going to react? That's why I'm going to this my next point, which is very important. The true size and strength of ADC, my opinion though, will be known after the leading ticket is on. I've come to accept now that wherever it goes, there will be consequences. Definitely. So the true size And all of this momentum that we're talking about, and everything will just really repeat once that ticket is there. Because it's just, it's not because we can't do the party, it's just because we're in a very unique situation in this country where you have people in government who don't want to ever, you know, imagine being out of power. Tinubu since he was governor in Lagos State, he has never been out of power. That is just the reality, and that is his nature. So he's here now in Aso Rock. All the calculations and computations will be how not to be out of power. Trust me, once the ticket comes up in ADC ticket comes out, and it's very clear that this is a ticket that can, and they watch, they see Nigerians' reaction that this is a ticket that can, push them out. I can guarantee you that legal issues will come up. That is very similar to PDP. I hope ADC is prepared for that. I can guarantee you, because you see, there's no point creating problems in PDP. We didn't think that this platform, if I allow, so that's otherwise. Why is it
So, the thing is, I mean, again, since we're all just
Trying to see what could happen. Yeah, you may be right. That may happen. But personally, I'm not gonna lose sight of that. And the reason I'm not gonna, lose sleep on that,
lose sleep
because
over that?
yeah, because um the way we in take calculate, now in these other guys too, they calculate. And you said something about him trying to use the north south. Of course, if a southern candidate were to come out from ADC, they will also have. So that's what I'm saying. Like, different scenarios, different plan. So, okay,
Yeah, I agree. So that's why I like what Peter did yesterday. He didn't give any lead as to, allowing people, when even in the midst of obedience, when people were trying to push him in the direction of obey or nothing. In fact, he literally cautioned a few persons, and he didn't give them. And that, I think that's very important. And I really like that. And this is to tell you how loyal I am. Somebody that I really limit. Yesterday, I really questions. He didn't give away anything. So if wherever they are now, they will still have all the scenarios open, and it's good to spread themselves thin. So why they are
yeah,
hanging,
absolutely. No,
yeah.
they
So
have
it's good.
nothing. They have nothing. The only thing they are saying now, in
Mm,
my other friends on the other side, oh, he has agreed to be VP. Okay. They are also talking about one of the examples he gave about plane. I'm like you, how ridiculous can you be? Like, it's crazy that out of everything that was said on that space, this was what they could only try to, use. Which, again, for me, for those who know me, I am not a defender of. I even believe that there's no publicity in the fact. Whatever you say, it contributes to put his name out there. That's why you continue to talk about it, whether for good or bad.
You know
This
what?
is popularity
You know what Peter Obi did yesterday? He gave everybody the reason to open their species and
this morning.
content that they can work on. So if you think he wants to be VP, you have something to pick from his speech that you feed on, and you can talk for hours. If you think that Peter Obi says because when somebody asked me that, he said he didn't travel all over the world to go and learn how to be VP. So for you, if you think that Peter Obi doesn't want to be, that's for it. That's your own.
And then he said, I'm not God. You don't know what's going to happen in
Exactly.
the future.
Exactly. That's for APC people
Oh,
who will want to believe
look
that
at it.
the coalition does not know what they are doing. That's for APC. You see, they are not even made up their mind. So those ones who open to that. And which is why I think that anybody who is doing so at your own peril. Peter Obi is a very smart person. If you don't listen to him carefully, you will not know what he's doing. But yesterday, I heard what he said, and I heard what he didn't say. Lastly, I wanted to say that I hope that ADC will also be more holistic in this coalition, effort. Because there are people that are still outside of the fold, which I think that they are easy targets. Now, somebody like Shima, for example, and his group, because they've seen now that INEC is not going to leave PDP, it's not going to allow PDP to survive. Just based on that meeting that they called, that they said they were caught by surprise. And of course, Omakinde saying Wiki has promised to hold down PDP for Shima. So I think that these guys are also available, and they should widen the net.
Yeah.
Yeah, in these people as well. So that, because so that you get stronger. That's
I mean, for those who are, I'm talking about the leaders, for those who are close to them, I don't know who is listening, and I'm just going to say this. Um, Another way to get Nigerians, I think I've said this before, another way to get Nigerians to buy into this ADC vision is to make sure that from the administrative point of view as a party, you start doing things right. Okay. Um, you cannot underestimate optics. You have to not just be doing it in the corners. Nigerians have to see that you are actually, being fair and you are playing fair. Because at this point, there's no excuse. You wanted everybody to join. Everybody has now joined. It is now in your court. The ball has come back to your court to start making sure all sides, all purposes in this particular coalition does not feel, left out. It is a very huge task that these guys must not joke with. And with that, I'm very sure, that Nigerians will still reason. I'm very sure. See, this is why I like APC. And sometimes maybe when I'm hosting, I bring make sure that APC voice is heard. Because you get that person will dey talk. You go come dey vex inside. You go dey vex. You know, it will almost be like, man, these guys need
Your
these guys
customer, your customer make I not chase your customer away. If I chase them away.
like, I want them to make Nigerians more angry. That speak to you get how they will take talk about your reality. And you'll be like, this one okay. So this has to Nigerians will come around. And it's my hope, that Nigerians will come around. Like I said earlier, some people like Chief B now has said PO is leader, he has decided he's going there.
Call the name, it don't
Right.
involve. His name is Malamba.
Okay. He has said he's going there, right? But some people they still need a little bit more convincing, which is fine, across the board by the way. So you know, the job is on us to continue to convince people that this is actually, this thing, the part, the best part it is by having united voices, not really speaking divisively. Just make your submissions or make your post, whatever it is, whatever you are doing. Right now is not the time to fight, honestly, guys. It's to now consolidate and start pushing hard on these guys. Or more like I want to see spaces where we say, like, even if it's like 10 ADC spaces, but they are just going at all the different ways that people feel. Because content full everywhere, material full ground, you know. How I was doing one research and I was just trying to put towards this. I was looking at this and I was like, what the hell are they? Before we don't even know their name, before we don't even know like they are even exist. And they've been enjoying themselves because they are flying under the radar. Nobody is on them. But these guys are so important, you know. So yeah, like there's enough material to go around for everybody to get Nigerians to start seeing this government as a failure. There's enough. Well, let me stop there. Sorry okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please hold on. By the way, I see that IG has already gone one step further. You don't put ADC as DP. Energy, energy. Let me see. Let me
If
see on
you
this
are not,
space.
if you are not in ADC or PTADC, if you are working for PDP, you are working, yes. So,
I think this might be the most now because it confirm I well, I think maybe I use Valerie who else is there? Odogu, I think that's all. That's that's all.
How the ADC AVIs, I can
Make
see.
it no be say na mood swing. Oh, say na mood swing. Oh,
No,
okay.
it cannot be Mutsun. We have moved on to a permanent site, King Zanga.
Valerie know what I'm talking about. Those is okay. I did here.
All right, let's move on. Let's bring in. I see a few hands up, Mr. AY and maybe. Please don't mind. Let me just take some of the news and then circle back. Thank you. All right, let's have budget. Then we'll go to I. Thank you. We don't really have a lot of requests. We don't even have any requests. So budget, please. Budget, please go on. Budget, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This is um, very interesting, and as I've said time and time again, who's listening to the opposition leaders, not the supporters that are confused or that are not fully aware of what's going on ground. This is a chess game. They're not going to play all their hands on APC to see so that they can know how they can go and be using the, the judiciary to or the principalities and powers to block our way. We are going to play the game, and those that are in the opposition they are more than capable of playing the game and beating the so-called master strategies that we have seen that there is nothing to strategize. It has all been scam all these years, a propaganda strategy. And so we're going to play that game, and obedience will come down. They have heard from Obi. I've always told them, listen to your
Sorry,
leader.
sorry, budget. I've moved past this. Budget.
Exactly.
Please hold on. So budget, no victor, no thanks,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
right?
with
You were right, you were wrong. Because let's not have gone the other way too. Safety is no follow. They would have been felt indicated that they fought for the so it doesn't matter at this point. Budget. I don't care. What matters now is they push forward. When you get there,
you. No, Ali, I'm moving
So,
forward.
what if yesterday now, me also say, omo, ZYL I dey go. The problem don't dey be that. So, and you will not
No,
be
no, no.
feeling, you probably be able to attack. So, the point is, everywhere is now united. So let's consolidate and then start gingering us, budget. Ginger us. Let people feel like, yes, this is not, APC is in trouble. Yes.
You don't set now. You I said the opposition is sweating. It wasn't just statement. It's the reality because we know that we are already going to flog these guys in the next 2027. There is nothing that APC wants to do. Their plan was to try and cause division. Let by any means necessary, Obi and Atiku should not be united in the same party. That is what they have been banking. So the team yesterday shattered their 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 hopes of even getting anything out of 2027 election. You see this Kwankwaso issue that they are talking of with Abba to be political suicide for those two uh, candidates if they should go against the people of Kano. Kano is one of the few states that you can sway when the people are angry. The, the voices of the people currently is an alternative to APC. Then Kwankwaso and Abba should start moving to APC. Haven't you seen what is happening across the north? Kaduna, Zamfara, how people are Niger now, threatening their politicians, stoning their politicians. In fact, booing their one went forward 3 days ago. They put him like his life depends on. See, they don't know what to man the anger of the people will reflect. And Tinubu knows that. That is why he's trying so hard to try and like he has this house, whether by collecting all the governors because now collect the way you go market collect something. Now so they do governors now because he has been able to use EFCC to muzzle them after knowing how corrupt they are. As if the corruption does not start from his head. So this is the reality. There's nothing that they can do now that will change the outcome of 2027. All they are trying to do is at least even if we fall, let us not fall with too much shame. So it is going to be very, very interesting. The North is already gingered. The momentum is already set in place. And if you look at it, even 2024 protest, there was a reason why the North came out far more than any other place. The millions of, in fact, the coverage was not even enough for the protest because we that were on ground that protested with Nigerians, we saw the agitation. They don't burn anybody who want to steal our mandate or play with our mandate 2027. What we did in 2015, how we voted and defended our vote, followed to the coalition center. They could hear our voice from inside the office. They know you cannot try anything. You can only rig when you are popular. And Tinubu already, became the president with the least amount of votes. He's the most unpopular president in the history of this country. Now he's going into an election whereby the illusion he has created of master strategies has been, you know, dealt with. The illusion that he has created that he knows how to assemble a team has been dealt with. There is nothing that he wants to come and tell Nigerians now. There is nothing any APC person, especially in the north, will come and tell Northerners to say vote Tinubu. What do you want to use to? That's what the question I've asked APC. Any APC guy that is making noise, just ask him, what do you want to come and tell people to campaign for them? Tinubu will do this or will do that. What will he do? Because what is going to have been seen, Nigerians are feeling what this man is going to do. So he knows all these things. If he likes, let the 36 governors, Shebi he already has FCT minutes, all of them, 36 state governors, let all of them be with Tinubu. The way the people will stand up, I have said it before, there are only two ways to revolution in this country, either by the ballot or by the streets. If they try otherwise, people say, oh, Tinubu is not good luck. They will now understand who Nigerians really are come 2027. It's either they allow the mandate of the people to stand or all of us will die there as this my people they talk. All of us will die on the line because it is not going to happen. It's too much now. How can you normally if you have understood power and governance, when you squeeze you release, you squeeze you release. That is how you survive. But we have a government today that the man is just squeezing.
He's just squeezing. Release, let the people breathe. You say no. You are just squeezing, and you expect them to come and vote you because you have been able to muzzle and people that you feel or you have seen that they are corrupt. And there's a reason why when he removed subsidy, he pumped these governors with money. Nigerians are not reading it between the lines. He pumped these people with money because he knows they will eat it, so that when the time comes, he will know how he will muzzle them to join him. It is not only that the local government autonomy, that it is always he's using to sway these governors. He's using to push them to do his bidding or to come and join APC. But you see, gone are those days when Nigerian politicians will defect. They will have their people. They will go to their people. Their people will join them, and you see the massive crowd. Now is between bedroom, from bedroom to bedroom, that they are defecting. Only them and APC and Tinubu, they will go and join head. But that will not success because it's one man, one vote at the end of the day. And it will be telling the direction Nigerians are going to go. That I can guarantee that Nigerians will be the ones that will decide to 27 election. There is no two ways about it, no doubt about it. And I want to say it's going to go, but one thing is nobody will it will guard our life, will guard our vote with our energy. Yeah, I don't know why we have all this youthful exuberance energy in our bloods, and we are not going to use it and utilize it to save ourselves because 2027 is a battle for survival. Anybody will put body go collect. And I'm sure they have seen the body language. But forget about Conco. So if he likes, let him go to APC and gather all his family. It will not change anything. Akano people have rejected him before. He should have history now. He should have learned from history. Him going there now to APC will not amount to anything. It is just the collection of governors that Tinubu is doing, as I like to call it. It's just they collect governors. We no go do them anything. There are limitations to what governors can do when the country is revolting towards one party and one man that has failed them as a president. The doubt that people had, oh, Tinubu, let's see whether he can do it or he cannot do it. He has shown that he cannot do it. So that doubt has been clarified that this man has failed, and he hasn't just failed, he's still failing, and you are telling us to vote you again. No, Kulewek, as my Yoruba people go talk. So it is well, my brother Deji. I can start popping champagne self so that because waiting remain. The unity that we need, we have it.
No buy fake one.
And
No. I'm sure you know the levels of champagne.
no, we know now, especially knowing say Tinubu government has made people to start bringing fake things into the country. And so we'll buy original champagne, pop 'em, so that Nigerians will have original celebration when the time comes. So thank you all once again, Deji. Thank you too.
Deji, I can't hear
It seems Deji has,
anybody.
yeah, no, yeah, Deji seems Deji is having
The co-host, are you
um
sleeping?
Oh,
Are you
you see,
sleepy, co-host?
oh, go ahead.
What's going on, AI? I think budget has rounded up, so we can move.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm see. You see if we can go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm the one to speak next. Though.
Okay, okay, I'll go ahead. You have 5 minutes.
Okay. Hello, Nigerians. It's me again, the Tinubu tomato. Uh, the coalition now is on a full mood. I'm so happy yesterday. His Excellency, one of the biggest politicians Nigeria have ever seen in modern history, a candidate who was able to offload 6 million votes with an old party, is coming to ADC. Going to 2027.
With point of correction, he has been in ADC. He's not coming. He has
Oh
been there.
yes, pardon my manner.
IG is part of those punks. He has repented. We will be magnanimous in victory. Go ahead.
No. I've always been in. For me, Abuja is not where this fight is going on. As you are doing this festival season, true to your word, make sure you know your polling unit very well. It is going to be very important. 2027. Convince at least five people to have their membership. You to need those people. Make sure you also tell the people in at the grassroots level that the suffering we are suffering today is because of the bad policy. That is one. Then two, tell our people that while they are suffering back home, there is five cabal. We have Tinubu cabal, Remi Tinubu cabal, Shei Tinubu cabal, Fajabi Agbamila cabal, Wike cabal. These are the people who are only enjoying this. So there is need to pursue these people to exile. Okay, Tinubu being in Aso Rock in beyond the 2027 will cause a great calamity to our great nation. Is it imaginable that a country we have been managing for 65 years, today they want to turn it to one party state? Who knows that when these people return to power again, they will turn our country to Syria, Iran, and Iraq, just the way they are doing in Beirut and Tehran. Non-state actors will take over. We might even have factions like Hezbollah, Hamas. So we must protect our country from these people. They don't mean well for our country. They said they remove fuel subsidy, reducing the impact on our people. Poor healthcare center everywhere. Insecurity have tripled. Today, free speech is a taboo. If you speak, see that they find an allegation to put on your head. It's unimaginable that a country where they will look for Mazuna Kano in far away Kenya, very far country, the horn of Africa. And the terrorists and criminals who are parading our backyard here, our bush, they cannot eliminate them. So you can see APC business is thuggery, insecurity, and hunger. So that is the business of APC, a very lucrative industry. So they know that if you cannot go to farm, hunger will kill you. So they will now go and bring their bag of rice and share to you and collect your conscience at the polling unit. Okay? So it's a full chain industry. First of all, they implement the insecurity to make sure that you don't go to your farm, so that you don't. In our language, we say meaning what you do with your hand, you never forsake. So APC don't want you to work with your hand, so they implement insecurity. And second, they implement the hunger stage, implementing difficult policies that will kill humans, that will take human lives.
Okay, and from there they go with multiple layers of taxation that Tinubu enjoys so much. I call him the tax man. He know how to collect, collect, collect. He don't know how to give. So we must change this regime. We don't need a regime where people who their office is not recognized in the constitution start embarrassing people that are duly elected to speak for the people. So we must change that. We don't want a situation where a parliament where people cannot speak their truth without being silent. We don't need a parliament where
Um, ID,
the
please, can you take like 1 minute to round up? Thank you.
yeah, true. I'm not in the spirit now, so we have a lot to say. But anyway, we don't
Stop
need a
breaking red
parliament.
meat. Stop breaking that red meat. Eh? It's
we
not
don't
the
need
aside.
we don't need a parliament where that will be desecrated. A parliament that wants have Nigerians of eminent personality like Chuba Academy, where the president has turned our national item to for your mandate to collapse. It's so sad. So Nigerians, for me, this is a challenge to everybody. We only have two sides. We have the Tinubu side and we have the good Nigerian side that want to change the situation of this country. If you are not supporting ADC, you are supporting Tinubu. There is no neutrality in the face of in a phase where your country is about to collapse. You must pick a side. Either you join the side that will build your country back, or you join the people that will collapse it to the ground totally. For me, I've decided to join hands with my coalition leaders to chase out these rabbits, these mosquitoes, these hyenas out of Aso Rock, my beautiful Aso Rock, so that we can start rebuilding this country. Because where is our student loan? There are a lot of questions we are going to be asked. They say they have implemented student loan. Where is the loan? Okay. They said that the price of foods are going down. Where is the price of food that is going down? They said the price of dollar is going down. Where is the price of dollar that is going down? They say they are doing infrastructure. Gentlemen, let me round up with this. Is it imaginable that from Sokoto to Badagry, from Badagry to Sokoto, the road is not good? From Abuja to Kefi, the road is not good. From Benin to Ore to the east, the road is not good. But we have a president who they call master strategist, the builder of Lagos and builder of men, pouring trillions of naira of Nigerian taxpayers' money into Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. A lot of people have come out to say we need that road. But however, there are different bad roads in Nigeria that a lot of Nigerians sweat over, use every day. Why don't we channel those trillions into those roads before we can just say, let's build a one long stretch Calabar Coastal Road that we just rounding up. So you can see the misappropriation of funds. So we need to employ new managers who have economic ideas, who have the political will to go toe to toe with these bandits and these terrorists, who have the political will to diffuse the religious tension and tribal tension. So this is what I need to tell you to let you know that APC is a platform to support. So please, Nigerians, don't fail your country. Take back your country. Thank you. And you said I don't mention. I thank you. AI, I was listening, but I just couldn't speak at the time. Sorry. AI is now. Somebody has you can validate it now.
Yes.
Yes, DG. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know AI if you wanted to say something, but yes, thank you so much. And DJ, I wanted to commend you for your efforts. I really respect you, and I think you're the perfect person to actually be the one to sail this ship. I'm going to call it a ship. Sorry, this ADC Party Youth Forum. So for me, I just think everybody has said what I wanted to say, including especially rather ID. I believe that ID's approach, sorry about the noise, ID's approach is almost like we need to start working. He said a lot of funny things inside, but I think that is the path is going. We need to start working, and I think that yes, there has been a setback, and I'm going to say it boldly. I understand with Theo and the Anambra elections, and he couldn't give his allegiance totally, but now that he has done that, I think we need to actually now stop focusing on arguments between articulate and obedience, or maybe trying to blame Peter Obi directly or indirectly for anything. I think we should start working and understand that time is still on our hands. And there was something I was going to say lastly because I don't want to hog the mic. I actually believe that this is the time, like Deji said, to actually convince more people to join the party. And I think we now have a common enemy, which is Tinubu, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we need to put all our efforts in actually trying to get them to know what is coming. If they don't even want to know, it's fine. Like there's a tsunami coming, and if they don't want to be swept away, they need to go and strategize. I always use strong words, but they just said we are in this youth forum. I would have said Tinubu should resign as what is coming. You understand? And I believe that a lot of APC people have noticed are scared of this coalition and have noticed this. They don't they are even since yesterday, they are not happy. I was even an APC space. They were going after Peter Obi's speech, ADC, what are we what do who do we think we are? That we think we're
They
just
are
gonna come
not
and
happy, Valerie. They are not happy.
they are
They've
not
been
happy. I need
screaming.
to start
They've been
packaging.
screaming. Oh, like, oh God, no,
A
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
people are
no, no.
not
It's
happy.
been chaotic.
That's it though.
They are not happy, oh
Honestly,
brother. They
they
are
are
not.
not happy. Firsthand, they came for me yesterday. They came up bringing all the plain drama, different things Theo
Must
said
they be
about his
happy?
wife.
Must they be happy?
Exactly.
You know?
They must not. They don't have to. I think because they're going to get what they give us. This poverty and impoverishment that people are giving us. People needs to run for his life. So lastly, I actually kind of skip from the last I wanted to say. Trust me, it has been really hectic with serious and everything. But last, I just wanted to say that I think we should commend ourselves for holding up to now. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of work to be done. I'll just here today to
Did you just say at the time?
Sorry, before I forget, thank
No,
you.
don't worry. Hold on, Osawa, my brother. Oh, yeah, me, man. Valerie, you do something for me, please. Hmm? I want you to commit to that. I want you to commit to taking your own advice, all right? And we're gonna have a great ride. Every man in this vehicle, promise you, is gonna win the ride. Thank
thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, see, if there's anybody that me I can still understand to an extent, because of course I can't speak for anyone, but I believe Valerie is someone who actually I don't know, like if if my own level of following people maybe like 20%. Valerie own is literally like of the roof. So is if she says that now you and two feel I believe, right? And I hope that going forward that church is also a very popular space. As spaces will drive the narrative of pushing people more and mobilizing people into the right. But I mean at the end of the day, uh, everyone is free to do what they want to do. So please, Valerie, you are all right.
Yes, baby, I love what you said.
You
I love
Valerie
it.
said, okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
All right. Thank you, Valerie. All right. Let's move on to other speakers. Mr. Ayo has dropped, a few people have dropped it. I just had to, prioritize new speakers so that everyone can get a fair chance to speak. So we have a lady amongst us. Please, for all the testosterone here, yeah, Dr. Roya, please.
Testosterone is high, oh. Dr. Roya, how you doing?
I'm fine. Good afternoon, everyone. This is what it is. Afternoon. How are you all doing? Well done. Thanks for allowing me to speak. Well done to everyone. This is interesting. Okay. So, yeah, video, video spaces is quite interesting. We had several feelings in our film. Jesus with many feelings came throughout his speeches, but it was all in all a breath of fresh air compared to the what toxic environment of the whole country. To our president getting out of the, I don't want to be calling him, right? So what happened to Finland? I just state it out. One of the things that happened to us in 2020 or moving of 2023 was this issue of Labour Party, where obedience were with really obedience, like campaign obedience. The vehicle principle was used to contest for the Labour Party. So there was some blessing to me. Some there was a forcing between obedience and the not original is what original with the old time Labour Party. And I think these institutions and grievances followed all the way forward after the election. Transitional sabotage, especially the party crisis, which our enemies were able to infiltrate because there were many unresolved. So looking at this, is that anywhere people goes, we go. So it's, we don't enter the right? Nothing else. I mean, I don't feel that party. If you do, you did it. Them, right? Yeah, everybody has nothing. Maybe people move out. Maybe people have said it. I know a lot of things in it. But I hope that as the days unfold, things will fall in place. You don't need to even worry about ahead about that. So, like I was saying, this issue of the initial ADC people that we prior to the coalition, and after the coalition, we have people who enter the ADC, and of course, we still see that they have been in the ADC where obedience now have to align. So, those issues, I think, will be in the coming days. You know, we need to find a way to work that out because there are issues.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I think it's. I think this particular effort. I'm sorry, Nove. I just wanted to quickly say something. Can
No,
you hear
it's
me?
fine.
Mute your mic. Sorry.
It's fine. Go
So
ahead.
I think this effort is going to has to be driven by everybody, honestly, because so when the whole back and forth was going on, it was hard to really decipher, who, at least let me speak for myself, like who was doing too much. All sides were doing too much, and that's the truth, you know. And going forward, now that we are where we are right now, um, I think the most important thing is that no matter how I feel, right? Because I mean, everyone has their interest, everyone has one thing that is they are angry about. And I think no matter how I feel, I will try my best not to overheat the coalition. I mean, we can say all we want to say about the president, the APC, but amongst ourselves, even though we are pushing for different candidates, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. I stress it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having different people that you like. It's normal. But if when I'm speaking, and I notice I catch myself kind of, denigrating and speaking down on others that we are supposed to in the same distance, regardless of which side you are on now. It creates like I was reading one book and what they were saying, like, humans generally always want to defend the action, whether it is right or wrong. If you were to catch a serial killer today, he might tell you that it's because somebody, maybe the serial killer that kills, I don't mind what, that kills, like, say, blonde people. You should be like, yes, one blonde lady did something. Therefore, I'm taking my own pound of flesh. But he's basically rationalizing and justifying those terrible acts. And that is what everybody will do as a human being. It doesn't matter what you are doing, whether it's right or as far as you feel like you are justified enough to do it. And it happens that when I speak and I'm kind of, to an extent, sort of talking down on people, tutorial will definitely get defensive. Like, what the hell is this? Women, tutorial too, would want to, pay me back in my own coin and attack Amechi. And somebody else, we don't even know where things they happen from. When we say in just be maybe normal Amechi supporter, he hears Victoria, perhaps didn't even hear me when I was going after you. Come again and attack you, and the cycle continues. So now that we are where we are now, I think the best thing that everybody needs to start is when you are making your submissions, your utterances, your tweets, you try to be measured and not rile up people. Because you can obviously control what you do, but you can't control how people perceive or
Yesterday, Pio
react
said
to
that.
it.
Yesterday, Pio said if they abuse him, that he should pray for the person. That's what he said himself. So please,
You need to go and check.
big,
You need to go and check. Yes. I need to do something. I need to do something. I think you need to go and somebody needs to go and check PO's is probably Jesus Christ, because I don't know why. I mean, I'm not going to turn my left, but I get the point. He's just trying to, to make everyone understand that there's a bigger picture here. I think but yeah, go on.
okay, so thank you. I think you get the point. And based on somebody that commented that right now we have operating against major campaign courts, the APC and the rest of Nigeria. Rest of Nigeria now represented by ADC in our own opinion, because PO was our man, is our principal, and also the other people, all the other opposition guys are now kind of together in ADC. Now the point is that you say that if you are against, because finally when a flag bearer comes out, we are all hoping with PO, because PO has said it's going to be on the ballot, and I take his word very serious. It's going to be on the ballot. Now, when that every ADC member, we have to rally around you to be able to show that ticket is the election. So if you look if and place at that point in time, we will support us. So I think we will not be quiet for waiting for the day to happen where okay, we this is the election. I think we're getting closer to that time. The election is very clear what we're doing. This is the time to fight individuals. People that are enemies here. So, I the people who are the country, who are in Nigeria are really full of the people, who have been Nigeria living the terrorist state, who have been Nigeria corrupting the capital of the world, who have been not sucking demonic terrorists in the country. Oh God. So they are the ones that we need to face. APC must die. APC must be destroyed. APC must be taken out. And they will arrest all these people. I don't understand how they carry political politics. And one thing I know, you see with our talk, right? There must be a give. You cannot keep doing the wrong thing for a long time. Something will happen. I know of a story of a man who maltreats his wife. He was actually a neighbor of ours, and she one very correct chick like this, so very high flyer in the bank and all that. Married the man locked her inside house, thought she'd resign her job. And she was with us for a long time. I kept wondering, this girl, what is going on with this girl? You have changed. You are somebody else. We don't even see it. She said, my husband, and chill. Next thing, she relocated to another city. Next thing, where I shall stay with her guy. Like, she has had family came and rescued her life, she could live from there. So I just put that in my head yesterday. From that yesterday. What is that? No matter what, one day it will happen. So this is bad and wicked the government you use Nigeria to something. It's sustainable. Look at the Hitlers of this world. They are not sustainable. You might think the fight is get 1 million. People that are normal Nigeria can even pay 300 k, 1 million. You want to die, and the road are not safe and there's insecurity. So there has to be a give. There has to be a point where enough is enough. Even nature abhors it. Even if you are wicked, even if you push goats, go world. The goat will not goat will bite your hand. So enough is enough. The time has come. We will shut Nigeria. We are all ready to break. I don't think of it as moving forward. People like the fact people that listen. Not the people that go to the Lagos. When it comes to when push out to shop, I think it's really Lagos. I think it's hard to get less traffic after the December is over. So let people not be moved and be carried away by oh this December, blah blah. That's what they are project to their country. Nigeria is a joke. This country is a huge, monumental, eh, very unflattering joke. Like, there's no light in the country, there's nothing. The neighbor says, if you don't give 24 hours, don't vote for me. We will take him by his words. He's going nowhere. He's a one term president. I don't care. People that can country, on president relocate back to their country, as in they travel, they will come back when there's problem. There's problem and crisis. Oh, God, they get down to one. What kind of are you mad? Are you raving sick in the head? Or let's go and do what? I'm hearing vibe that the guy is sick, obviously. You should be sick and let him just keep being sick. We don't need it's useless to our nation. I'm not even apologetic. Who won't vex, make you vex? Because Nigeria has destroyed futures, people's lives. People like
Yeah.
people are wondering what kind of nation is this? Where are we? So it's time to come together. In this coalition, we go. I just said if I'm not in this country, if I'm coming right now, I'm around in Nigeria. If I'm not there for here, if I'm not in, which I really want to be around, I'm around this nation because after ground, we go enter street, we go enter market now, body matter because we must rescue people who they know are saying
Yeah.
they are powerful as supporters, as powerful as
Yeah.
they are powerful as they are not.
Dr.
Give
Royals,
us the government.
All right.
No one
All right.
understands. Just
All right.
what
All right. All right. I was going to ask Dr. Royal. So I know that you are one of those voices, what some people call key obedience that is close to the powerful. So I don't think it is now that we are where we are, um, you be telling obedience, who are probably not like you that we are
Decided that okay,
where people goes before. They are still somehow conflicted. What is your message to them? Are you going to start telling them to go to the party, start going in there to take their place whilst getting ready to vote you at the primaries if it ever comes to that?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's time to stop playing naivety and stop playing like we don't know what the like that's why I reference Labour Party. What happened? These were all the BNP and let Labour Party were fooling themselves. And that ended, how did it end? It didn't end well. So everybody will carry it right now. If that's what people truly feel is, as we all heard yesterday, Atlanta or Bobby is the truth. Because if you want to get to political office in 2027, by now you should enter the party. I don't know what the laws are really about how long you can be to buy, right, for position. But whichever way it is, go to the party to get into committees, to get into, whatever, some position, local government, this, polling unit agent. I was a polling unit agent in 2023. I was a polling agent. I was right there. I was there at the control center. And I was doing things. I know they were not and became action, right? So all of this, so if they go to will come back to our we should make the election. If it comes to the say I was looking at the we have this all these things we able to know it. Forget the election, those governments that just want to know. Forget them. If we flood them, after all, they go to not bigger states. All right, even if all we came, you know the truth. Like if you most of the states that picked up the PO1, we didn't have we have governors that were held in office. But Delta State didn't have the governor that was the PDP and he was able to fight presidential candidate of PDP. But PO1 hands down. So we can win in every single state we push to the max. So it doesn't matter where they defect. It's just what they are doing. They're not now. They're not just those who want to go second term, those who want to be thrown out like Kubara, and the next is the second one. After all, tell me what Doe Jiri, who has completed his tenure in the next few, who completed the next 2 years, he's not coming for election. Why is he? Is it not because he wants to come back or he wants to vote for Tinubu? He doesn't feel really not for that. So you see that every about any kind of high horse you are in, we have a country to see. We have lives to save. We have generation to save. Let's not come from online or enter the ADC. Enter. Yeah, I don't particular. Go to I don't have to trash. That doesn't make sense. I
Dr.
want
Roy,
to
thank you.
get
Dr. Roy, yeah, thank you.
brother. That's the truth. Hey, let's enter the matter. Let's go for popular. Let's transform Nigeria. Thank you. Dr. Roy, I'm not being. I sound like the contractor. No, I sound like yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Rai. I have to say that I'm happy to hear this coming from you guys, and I hope that going forward, there's this continuous push, to get more people, to convince more people that you know the fastest way to get these guys out is through the ADC, right? You don't have to like everybody. Okay, I'm sure even within the APC, some people don't even like. But you know, they are party men. They have to continue and until his face goes out and they continue doing their things. So yeah, you don't have to like everybody. You just have to understand that what exactly do you want? Do you want a Nigeria that actually works? And maybe not even El Dorado, but to an extent, not a government that would continue to do stuff as though they are not answerable to anybody. That kind of feel like these guys are so arrogant in their incompetence. I don't get it. So, at least, especially do when you actually add a say in the government coming in, you get that sort of that pride to be able to ask them you get what you want them to do. So yeah, anyway, if APC guys want ask Tinubu to do something, they go first start with if it pleases you, my lord. If your lord pleases, we would like you to consider this. You don't have to do it, but you just need to do it to help. All right, I will think about it. Anyway, let's move on. We have Babaji, Matthew, and Davis that hasn't spoken at all. Of Sawaru spoke earlier, Yusuf, Dr. Oyadu, maybe, and King Zanga. So let's start with
I never talk.
let's start with Matthew.
I just dey ask you
I'm sorry, I've heard your voice. I've heard your voice
King
so
Zanga,
many times.
you don't,
I'm thinking you
you be
already
like say
spoke.
you
I
be
am
co-host too.
honorary co-host. Exactly.
King Zanga is happy differently today, and I like it. Anyway, Matthew, please go on. How do you
Very excited if I tell you that since I joined this, I tell you I'm excited with the renewed spirit, not renewed spirit we have now, sort of to work as one, to ensure that, the aim, which is to yes, some wicked today. we feel more. I mean, you should be such a person. You can just imagine the arrogance. So these are the kind of people we don't want to see in government anymore. When you when you feel that you are in government, yeah, and even my point, so you know, I started to watch it because usually before now I don't watch this. I become really very angry. You see way these guys speak. They just believe that they can do anything and anything goes. And I think we should be resolved. That united front, I like what I'm hearing. I like what everybody is saying. We just have to be united to ensure that this so-called Tinubu who feels is national of everybody. Let the people's will take him out of power in 2027 because we cannot say we belong to a country that belongs to all of us. It's just a few working overall. Just God. When will this 2027 come?
It
Let
was
this
so annoying. Yeah.
eh,
Hey,
eh,
it was very
eh,
it was painful.
look at the arrogance. This is somebody who even does not win election. No. This is somebody who really it's not as if you win you lead the election. See, guys, you really have to step whatever men that we are very good number of us guys before you know it will come. When they spoil this country for us, we inherit as a people as citizens of the country. It is me. It's yeah, all right, that's fine. Sorry about that. All right, let's begin. Things, things,
the spirit of the Great Coalition and what's happening. And I think this is the time that every rhetoric, innuendos, should be brought in the sense that ways of some of us that used to attack our leaders. It is time for unity and to work as a family. We have a common enemy, and that common enemy is the people that sings on the presidency, Ahmed, who is the president taking us to dungeon, is the common enemy to get united in and put out. They want to bring conflict, they want to bring violence. Already succeeded in bigotry, dividing the nation. You can see friends that are from the west and the east. Some of them cannot relate because they are as a French experience. So we have a common enemy to come against, to fight against, and that common enemy must be dealt with. I'm very much happy that the leaders of the ADC have been able to work together in one and to come out together and to galvanize the we, their stress, supporters, soldiers, we should also be mindful of our victories in how we kind of malign some of the leaders because it's some of the issues that the APC, are always happy with. They fuel some of these things. So it's time for us to really unite together as a family. Our common enemy is the criminality going on. Look at what my father just said this morning. UK has never, how UK has never worked in his life. Tell us that he has worked and he has been paid before he has a paycheck. He has never experienced going to work and being paid at the end of the month. And so because he was so unfortunate that we have a system that criminals to the system, and they will be stealing left, right, center, with impunity. And they'll come out boasting because they have the tendency to rig election. The work is not working. INEC is not working. The system entirely, because they made it to collapse, so we can rebuild impunity. And that is the kind of people we are going to face. And so we need that unity. We need that oneness. We need to be together. And when we that close to be in force, we countering the criminality of APC, telling the world how criminal this government is. Because that is the tax we have now. And to galvanize our people, and there is poverty on the land, and they are coming up with tax again to tax our blood off. They are coming up with things, and these are the things right now. I'm very much happy because right now we should work together as a family, as a team, and face the common enemy. And tell the world that these people are tarnishing the image of Nigerians everywhere because of their criminal tendencies. I think that's what I have to say. But if I have anything more, I will say as we go on. Thank you very much.
My boy is better now. Yeah. So I think the last thing I wanted to say is that one of the things also we should try and address as people who are now understanding the games that the so-called people in government today are playing, weaponizing poverty on the day of election. You see how to get 1,000 naira to go vote for. I think we should start more like an awareness, sort of. Because it built to the election in itself, how we can make our people, most especially those who have people in the rural areas and all of that. Imagine what happened in Anambra State, for instance, where it was here or the report they had that people were able to negotiate how much they should give. So that is the nature of organizing poverty. People have weaponized poverty and send the people to a certain state in life whereby when they see 10,000 for them. I don't know how we can um, create an awareness session. Maybe the party they want to do something eventually. These are ways we can also get more people to go outside and ensure that the end goal at the end of it is success and victory for Nigerians and for all of us. And I also think we should be sending out a message that whoever or whoever emerges in the ADC, we should be ready to support. I don't think we should be playing at this point in time, since we're talking about closing ranks. I don't think anybody should come and say Atiku first, Tinubu and Peter will be first. I think if we are trying to say we are building a united front, we will say we are fully with the ADC and whatsoever the ADC is able to produce. And when we say ADC, because we believe that all things being equal, they will play a good. I mean, the outcome of the primaries and everything will be well coordinated and transparent. And whosoever the party is able to produce to be the candidates of the party, everybody should rally around and support. So that's because if there's anything I'm expecting to happen for the APC is an implosion come next year when people start having their imagine what is happening in Kano today now. The national chairman, I mean the state chairman of Kano State NNPP just released a press statement just about now saying that he's disappointed to hear that Abba Gida Gida is going to the ADC, APC. He just released a statement. Now, if you are current enough, you must have seen it. That Abba Gida Gida is going to the APC. That is quite disappointed that this is not the wish of Kano people and all of that. So it tells you that when this party primary starts happening next year, there will definitely be implosion into the ADC. People who are disgruntled from other political platforms who want to come and everybody wants to, politicians want to save their faces.
You mean implosion in the APC, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely, it will happen. It will happen. You will
It
see.
will happen. It will
It will
happen.
happen.
Last effect, it will
Hmm.
happen.
It will
Everything
happen.
will go smooth.
Hmm. So I wish us all the best, and I pray that we continue on this trend. We drive a good and healthy. I like the fact that there was a settling in terms of where to go. That's yesterday's what's it called, space by His Excellency Peter Obi has saved a whole lot. I can tell you, because whether we like it or not, people now start having a rethink. And if I can hear, I do. This is the first time I'm having a space session with Dr. Royal Laurel, and I see that you are a big fan of Peter Obi. And for what you said here, if people have this kind of mindset, it will help this movement. And it will put that great fear on this so-called Tinubu's government that even before the election, they would have been giving up to say that they will not be able to make it and all of that. That's the spirit I want us to take into the next election. Well done, everybody. Thank you.
Can I, can I do 30 seconds and just drop this? I'm going to the hospital. I
Yeah,
want
sure,
to
sure.
appreciate I
Sure,
want to
go.
appreciate Dr. Royal because the last time I saw her on the space, they abused her. They abused her. I think it was an APC space. They abused the hell out of her. And guess what? She did not abuse them back. She just said thank you and she moved on. I wish I have that kind of courage because me, I could abuse you back. Thank you. Did you make a go hospital? Anyway, I hit my mic.
I
She's
thought
a
you
true
said you were
follower
feeling
of
better when
PO.
you joined the
That's
space,
why.
Yusuf.
When I start, when,
Don't mind
no, when
now,
I
don't
started,
mind
I
no,
now.
thought
when I,
you
when
said
I
you were
started
feeling
speaking,
better.
when I started speaking, Deji,
He said
I
when he
felt
started
good. I felt
speaking.
better, but
This
I
guy
was
is a
very sick.
clown, I swear.
I'm serious. Well, I'm serious about that. I felt better when I started speaking. Guys, have a nice. Let me go to listeners. Thank you very much.
All right, just yeah, thank you, Yusuf. Just to also say, Yusuf has declared his interest to run as a House of National Assembly member in the next election. Let's not forget to support our brother. We
Deji,
need
that
we
is
need people
Deji,
of
Deji,
capacity.
Deji. That is something that people should actually consider this election. If I tell you some, let me not say useless. If I tell you some people who rode on Labour Party's movement last election to win election last whatever, if I tell you, so I think anybody who is available, go look for a position. It's a new party. Go look for a position. Try to make one or small noise. Although try to also be a good person, not just because you feel it's a movement, you may win. Try to also ensure that you have the people at heart and you will do the best thing for them if you are given the opportunity. I know a lot of people who emerged in 2023 without necessarily even doing anything, no campaign, no nothing, but they won elections. So I think anybody who has short time to want to really go into politics, this is the best time to align and become something.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is definitely the best time, especially in a party like ADC. And I made that analysis recently. I mean, again, whether you like APC or not, they seem to be stable. They seem, people are going there. You can be tempted. Like if governors are going there, then I mean, what about you? So yes, you can think about that, but the problem is time. If you really, really are a good person and you say you want to go to APC, it will take a very, very long time to be able to make any dent in terms of change, because I mean they are filled with you get. So, but on the other hand, if you go to the ADC that is still building, that is still trying to sort of structure itself into something, this is a good opportunity to stamp your feet on the ground and be counted. And you never know. I mean, look at in the last election, like Matthew said, like there are a lot of people that even during Buhari's time, it's just normal. The wave will always bring people in, right? Buhari brought a lot of people into politics. PO brought a lot of people into politics, and it will happen. It will surely happen in the next election. So don't be found wanting. Don't be found with. I saw one of the posts that Akintoge made about is how he was able to influence the guy that came in Lekki
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connected.
Well, and I must also commend Aregbe Shola is doing very well. Like he's doing very, very well. As he's going around, he's also sending his people, to actually visit some places. Like last week Tuesday, we were with one of the PA of Aregbe Shola, and came inspire us, encourage us to continue doing good work. So it is actually encouraging. And that you see, that is what unity can do. In the last 6 months, fighting, all of us are not happy, but now you see all of us are now happy because we are now one family. So now I just have one appeal to those of you that are hosting, spaces, whether you are from agent camp or place or wherever you are. Please, whenever any one of you, host any spaces, and then someone trying to insult or attack leader from other camps, we should please call them to order. Because that's one of the ways we can have continued peace in the coalition. And then for those of you that actually want to contest for House of Rep, Senator, House of Assembly or whatever, please go to your ward, go to your local government, go to your constituency, and start doing the work. Don't wait for the momentum. Go and build the momentum, because it is not the leaders that will build the momentum alone. You also have the responsibility to build the momentum in your local government, your ward, your constituency. So do not wait for Obi or Atiku or Amechi to build, the momentum all over the country. There are places where people like you and me that will actually help to build the momentum. So it is time for prayer. I will use the mic, on to back. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Babaji. I appreciate. Let's quickly move the mic to Ophelia, and then we'll have Odogu. Ophelia, please go on. All right, Odogu. All right, sorry, I had to mute. Sorry, Ophelia, your background is very, very, very chaotic. Please try to look for somewhere quiet, and then you can come back up. Odogu, please go on.
All right, thank you very much, Vicky. I say good morning from my end and good afternoon to you guys in Nigeria. Good to hear. I've been here for about 3 hours listening to this. This is a lovely vibe. Oh, Dr. Royal, I greet you specially because at least for now we are on the same side of the aisle. Magamati, I see you, and Osawaru, I see everybody. I greet everybody, right? So, Ima, I see you too. I'm happy. The vibes I'm getting, this is what I really want to hear. And this is not what the APC guys don't want, and we're already disappointing them. They've been crying all night. Some of them didn't even sleep, and some of them talk about the substance of the space. They keep talking about toilet and no toilet. Who wants to go and wash toilet? That's their problem. I'm glad. Let's keep the momentum going. We will fight, but it's our internal problem. Once they put their mouth, we join hands together, we flog them. And that is the truth. And please, let's let bygone be bygone. We have a common enemy now, which is the APC, and how to take part out of that place. The arrogance is working too much. Sorry for my, German that just spoke now. The arrogance is too much. These guys don't care about the people. And we will tell them that by 2027, bad to be out of there. If you like, let them use Sheyi Tinubu as their INEC chairman. We will flog them when we are united. They know that, and they know this. And I'm glad, I'm happy the leaders are coming together. So it's for us now, the supporters, to come together. And by the grace of God, we will push ahead and we will flog them from place. Thank you very much for all you do. And like Babaji said, let's just leave every social campaigns and focus on the party called AIDS, and let's go out there and preach the AIDS. Look, this is the time I want to go into politics. We are going to be on ground. Forget the fact that you hear that I'm in diaspora. Forget to. I will be on ground this time. I will fight it to the end, fire for fire. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. I love this fight. To be honest with you, I love this fight. I've been here listening for about 3 hours. I have not heard any negative vibes from this fight. I am very, very happy. I am very, very happy. Thank you guys and God bless you. Thank you, Deji.
Thank you, Mudogo. Let's move on quickly to Davis. Has Davis spoken? I think I'm losing memory now.
No,
Yeah,
Davis, have you spoken?
I have spoken, but speaking because I have something to say. But go on, I've spoken.
Okay, that's fine. Just hang around. Let's bring in AI. Did you want to say something?
no. We can go with Olabest.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's have Olabest. Yeah.
Sorry, let me quickly say this. Did you remember what I told you initially when this whole ADC thing started? Remember I told you, I said we will unite with the ADC, and ADC is going to be the party to sort this guy. Thank you.
Odogu, see. Let's just move on because you lost faith. I lost faith. Plenty people faith. Okay, but we are here now. Come on.
Deji, bro, what have you been, man?
That's fine.
Deji, where have you been, bro?
I've been here. Now you where they go
Man,
ask
it's been
you
a
where
while,
you
bro.
did. Anyway, of course it will be. You don't say. Hold on, let me mute mic. You know, before I seem to be personal non-grata. So the prince was sort of didn't see me again. But thank God, we are now to that. Now he's saying, asking me where I've been. Well, I've been here, Prince. Welcome. All right. Who was supposed to go? I think it was Olabest. Olabest, please go on.
Sorry, DP. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So we are in celebration mode.
Sorry,
So for
Olabest.
this,
Matthew, what's up? Sorry, hold on, please.
Yes,
Matthew, what else?
DJ, I must honestly commend your I would say another thing that matters is the way hosts handle spaces. I think you have been able to handle this space in a manner that is bringing people together, and I think that is the way to go. Where we emphasize way to not where we belong. So I think the way you have been able to handle this space makes a whole lot of sense, and I think this is the way we should go going forward. For other people who have most of spaces here, I think we should learn from what you have been doing. Well done.
All right, thank you. After all these testimonies, I'll bring offering. Everybody needs to do offering. It's part of our civic duties. Matthew. All right. Olabes, please go on.
all right. So as I was saying that we are in a celebration mode, and I'm happy all the leaders are in. By January, I'm getting my membership card. Anyway, so what I want to say is that there are people that are campaigning for our people to win the ticket, the primary, allow obedience also campaign for our boss. And there's one observation I want to make. If you can try and bring comfort into ADC, because as it is now, if you APC offer him VP, you go there, and we know he control Kano. So being someone that has been senator before, as minister, has been governor, the only position you can offer him is VP or presidential. So if APC offer him that VP, they hope that he will be their flag bearer 2021. Let me move to APC. So if ADC also can offer him the same, he will move to ADC. So I think that's the only person that is remaining now. So those that are close to the leaders should consider bringing ADC. So some people may say maybe you control only one state, but at least it can be a spoiler. Instead of allowing to be a spoiler, if neither ADC or APC he will contest on his own and spoil the like the whole kind of January election, everybody we move together. That's all.
Why is the house quiet? I didn't understand.
Sylvia,
we are not quiet. We are still waiting for people to make their observations. Because what I think, this,
hold on.
what I think,
I'm shaking it.
okay, what I think, the discourse is on is the Great Coalition, and it's all about the family, ADC, work together. It's not all about any individual person. If you want to campaign for your person, you can campaign for your person in your own space. That's my own. That's what I think. You can campaign for your person in your own space. I believe this is the time for the time for healing, the time to work together as one, the time for unity, and not to bring in this. I'm going to campaign for this person. I'm going to campaign for that person. The more we do that, the more we create division, because nobody will take anybody's shit. The more we do that, the more we create issues. So this is the time to build ADC. There must be a platform we must work on before we talk about who is to lead on the platform. We have a great task in front of us. The task in front of us is to defeat the criminals in power, the thieves in power, the poverty they have brought, the forgeries that is just flying left, right, and center, the violence that is ongoing, the roads that are bad, the things, our people cannot live good life anymore because people are in